On to the next project. So I just picked up this countertop from Rock Tops. I'm going to show you guys how to install the sink, how to fasten down the countertop, soap dispenser, rinser, and the faucet. If you're interested in any of these products, I'll have the link in the description down below, but here we go. I'm going to hook up the valves for this wet bar downstairs. We got the stubs coming out of the wall. First thing we need to do, shut off the water, otherwise we're going to have a mess. Next we're going to get everything we need. Need a bucket. There's going to be some extra water left in these lines, so that'll catch the remaining of that. What does it? We'll use these paper towels for. Next, we're going to need something to cut those stub outs. So I got this rigid cutter from Home Depot. These, you could use them or you could not use them. Since it's under a sink, it's not really going to be seen that much. I'm going to put them on. I need them elsewhere in the house, so I went and bought a 10-pack. And then 2 compression fittings, one for the hot, one for the cold. 1/2 inch to 3/8 compressions, and then 1/4 turned for the shutoffs. Here we go. The damn painter got paint all over these stub outs, so don't know who he is. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it off. Note to self, don't paint your stub outs. The sandpaper didn't work, so I had to scrape it all off after I let it soak in some water for a little bit. And yeah, don't paint your stub outs. All right, let's see how this bad boy works. Tighten it on there until it's contacting. Then you go another 1/2 turn. Spin 2 turns. Throw it on, then fitting, threads out, compression fitting, compression ring, I guess. Same thing on the other one. We're just going to tighten it. Holding the body in place. I don't know where my other set of adjustable is. Now let's turn the water on and see if they leak. Make sure they are shut off. Cold. Nothing. And now hot. Success. All right, we're gonna start out here, fastening this countertop down to the cabinet. So I'm just gonna use some clear silicone, run a bead along all the cabinet surface and the support on the side, just fastening it down, making sure it's solid. So I got a test fit in here right now, so I'm just gonna prop it up just so I can get to each of the edges, and then I'm gonna silicone it, put it down, and work my way around. Show you this real quick. So I just ran that bead of silicone all along my supports there, and then all along the top of the countertop. All right, done with the silicone for now, and put some tape over the top of it. Gonna need it again when I install the undermount sink, but I'm gonna wait to install that till I get all these valves and everything hooked up, just because that sink's gonna be in my way. So here we go. All right, we're gonna start out with this faucet from Glacier Bay. Pretty sure I got it from Home Depot. Like I said, I'll have the link in the description. So you're gonna take this, got these 2 little nipples here, slide into these 2 little holes. Just like that. And then you got the felt that goes down onto the countertop itself. These 2 will go underneath. I'll pull you down here and show you. All right, we got our faucet in. We got this threaded portion that you use The threaded portion goes through this small hole. The supply lines are used to fit in here. And then you got this nut that goes on the bottom of the threaded portion. You got threads on one side, no threads on the other. Threads go down, and you fasten it on using this as a washer to clamp it to the bottom of the countertop. Just like that. No threads, threads, down. I'm gonna hand tighten it till I get everything situated. Onto the soap dispenser. So this is from Moen. I'll have a link down in the description. I'll do a mock-up install up here so you can see it a little better. So this is the base portion, the portion that sticks outside of the countertop. This is your plunger. Plunger goes in, pressure fit, just push it on. Tube, pointy side down. Also just push it in. This slides in here. Next, take your rubber gasket, slide it on. Take your nut, slide it on. Your soap holder screws onto the bottom here. Countertop will sit here, and then there you go. Got yourself a soap dispenser. All right, let's take this all apart and get it installed. Base portion sits inside. This slides in the top. All right, now I'll take you underneath. Take your rubber gasket. Whoa, look at. Take your rubber gasket and your plastic nut. Slide them both over the threads and get to tightening, because I guess they designed this for a countertop that was 4 inches thick. All right, now that that's on there, you gotta take your soap holder, screw it on. I'm gonna hold on because I need to fill it up with water. They said to test it with water first before you put soap in it. So I'm gonna go fill it up with water. Once I get the sink installed, I'll test it out. Onto the glass rinser. I got this from Amazon. I'll have the link down in the description. I'm a little upset. I placed it a little too close on my drawing that I gave to Rock Top. It's a little too close to the soap dispenser for my liking, but you live and you learn. So I'll show you how to install it. So this is how it comes. You'll have a complete portion. Stick that in from the top. You'll have a plastic washer, a metal washer, plastic washer on top. And then this fitting works as a nut. You'll screw in from the bottom. Next, you go to the plastic washer, then the metal washer, then the nut. Eventually I'll get these threads started. There we go. Same thing, I'll hand tighten this until I get it set exactly where I want it. All right, so I got it set. Next, I'm gonna run this off of my hot water line. So I'll pull that compression fitting off, slide this one on. Next, this braided line that comes with it slides on. And this will run up to the bottom of the glass rinser. All right, ran to the store, got my braided connections for the hot and cold water. Cold water line hooked up no problem. Made it over to the hot water line. Got it hooked into the faucet. Had issues hooking it up to that T connector that comes with the glass rinser from Amazon. Fought it for 15 to 20 minutes. Eventually pulled it off. The dimensions of it must be slightly off. Ended up having to make another store run. Got this brass connector you can see pictured. And put that on, everything hooked up, no problem. So if you're getting that glass rinser from Amazon, you might just go ahead and buy a T connector also. Time to get the drain stub out in. So prime it, glue it, same thing. Prime it, ooh, glue it. Luckily I have paper down on the bottom, or that would be covered in the purple stuff. Give it a little twist, hold it in. Okay. Next, scutcheon. You don't really need this since it's under a sink. I'm putting it on anyways. And then you have a marble connection. Glue it on this end, and then the compression fitting is threaded on this end. Lesson learned here, I didn't have my drain tube centered up with where my sink drain was going to be. So I end up having to redo this later, but you'll see. Do a slight twist, hold in place. Otherwise it'll push itself out. And that's why it's important to put something down in the bottom of your cabinet. All right, so this is what it looks like all hooked up. Next I'm gonna install the sink. We got the line for the rinser going into the hot. Got the line for the faucet going into the hot. Line from the cold going into the valve for the faucet. Got the stub out installed with the marble fitting. Once I get the sink in, I'll run my P-trap up to the drain. We should be good to go. All right, time to break out that silicone again. So I'm running a continuous bead all along the top lip of this sink to fasten it to the bottom of this countertop. I just lifted it from the drain hole and then ran some scrap and used that to hold my sink in place. I used some more scrap wood underneath the sink to apply a little bit more pressure up to the top of the sink. So I always see people silicone their sinks in, and it just makes me nervous. So I went ahead and pocket holed some pieces of poplar. I'm gonna fasten them up on the sides here just to give it a little extra support. All right, we're almost there. Our silicone set up. Now time to hook up the drain and the P-trap, and we're on our way home here. So this is how it's gonna look underneath the sink. I did a little mock-up up here. Essentially, that's just a strainer. Don't need that. Got a little screw in here. Separates the portion of the drain that goes on top of the sink and that goes on the bottom. So this goes on top along with this rubber gasket. This will stay on the bottom and hold it to the sink. Just go ahead and place this in. So we got our drain and sink from the top. You got these two portions coming in from the bottom. This just slides over, and then the screw that you removed goes back in the top. Drains in. Next up is the wall tube. So we're going to pull this off, and I'll show you how to hook it into the marble connector. Start here by pulling our tape off our marble connection. That was just so the sewer gases didn't come back up since we don't have a P-trap hooked up yet. So here's the deal. I screwed this up when I put this drain, the stub out in. As you can see, this will not even come close to lining up here. So what I need to do is pull off this marble connection. Luckily I left myself enough room back here on the stub out. Cut that off, put a 45 on it first, and then get another marble connector, put it on so these can line up a little closer here. It's almost like I planned on screwing this up. I left myself just enough room to get a 45 on the stub out. So, time to add an extra step and cut this off. Probably didn't see any of that. All right, got her cut off. Now it's time to run to the store, get a 45, get a marble connector. I will not be cementing anything until I test fit it. Note to self. All right, back from the store. I went and got a new marble fitting, and then I got an assortment of elbows here. All right, so I ended up switching again to the 22 for the elbow. So now I just need to get this tail piece cut down to size. Put my top hat on. Screw it into place. And then you can see where to cut your tailpiece. All right, here we go again. Got my 22 degree and my short little 1.5 inches. Gonna glue that in. It's gonna come out of there. Give it a little twist. Hold it in place. Next is the marble connector. Okay, and then my last chance to glue it to the wall before I run out of pipe. Prime. Glue. Glue. All right, finishing it up. We got the wall piece here. We're going to throw that on. We got the gasket. We got the locking ring and the other locking ring. Throw this one in here. So let's pull this all the way back until I get it situated. Got the tail piece here. You got the locking ring to tie it down, along with another gasket, the top hat, and another locking ring. Throw that on, tighten the tail piece, swivel this around, get everything situated. All right, there it is. Now we'll try it out. All right, here's the moment of truth. Time to test everything out. I got some paper towels laid underneath the drain and the P-trap to see if anything leaks. Try out this faucet. Good to go. Soap dispenser. Works. Glass rinser. Here's a go. Hope you like this project. I got to figure out what I'm going to use for the backsplash, so if you have any suggestions for tile, let me know. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.